My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Hey gang, welcome back. Today we've got a very special guest zooming in from Indiana. Maria Marks is a real estate investor and a capital raiser, and she works with a growing company, Wealth Mission Group. And the interesting thing about Maria is she hasn't been in real estate forever. She was a full-time nurse for a long time. Kind of started getting burnt out with the whole nursing profession. I can understand that, Maria. My wife is a nurse, so I hear the stories. And she got into real estate and passive investing, and now she helps other people do the same thing. So, Maria, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes. So, Maria, give us a snapshot. What do you guys do? What do you invest in? What's your specialty at Wealth Mission Group?
We are a debt fund. So we are lending money to smaller flips, multifamily, very small, like under 10 units, more triple nets. And we are a debt fund. So we're lending money and we're helping people create monthly cash flow, which is a little bit different than if you've invested in bigger traditional multifamily properties.
Okay, so I can get my head around debt investing, loaning money to flippers.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually pretty short-term capital. They're in, they're out, 5-6 months kind of thing, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that's what you guys are hoping for. That's for sure. But for the other kind of properties, so like the commercial properties, the triple net properties, what kind of loans do those tend to be? What are they for?
They're for just either managing it, operating costs. They're very small loans. So these properties are maybe even 300,000 is pretty much the average loans that we're loaning out. So they're small. Yeah.
So the other kind of guy, like the flippers, they're using the $300,000 to buy supplies and fix up a property and flip it. What are the other guys typically using the capital for?
Oh, management, ownership, just operating costs, things like that.
So is it more long-term capital for those guys?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I see.
Yes.
So you got kind of different loans depending on what people need.
Correct.
Very cool. Now, do you guys loan nationwide? Do you focus on Indiana? What's your specialty there?
I am in Indiana, but we are only focused on Arizona properties. It's where our operators are that we've built a relationship with, and it's where most of our team lives, except for me. Uh-huh. But Arizona is where we are focused for this fund.
Interesting. Okay, very cool. And so yourself, you came into this business from a background in nursing.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference between nursing and raising capital. That's for
just
sure.
A bit.
So,
just a teensy bit.
So how long have you been on the capital raising side of things for, Maria?
3 years. This is my time. Just 3 years in real estate, and it's been kind of a shift if you think about it. I mean, it's a bit of a difference, right?
Yeah. So what do you find works most effectively for you for connecting with new investors, getting them on board, bringing them in as investors with your fund?
Well, the best thing is I don't have a financial background. So I come from nursing, and the whole idea of nursing is you're building trust and rapport with your patients. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the basis of being a nurse, is to build that trust. So all I'm doing as a capital raiser is building trust with my investors. I mean, it's like laying the groundwork right there. So what I do on a daily basis is explain the fund, explain what I'm doing, and try and help investors understand what it's like to invest in real estate. Investing in real estate is coming up now more. I mean, when I first got started, even in the idea of investing, I hadn't even heard of it. Investing to me meant investing in the stock market. That's all I had heard of. It's all I thought about. It's what my family had done before. So when I first got started in investing in real estate, I had to educate myself first. So when I get on these calls with my investors, most of the time I'm talking to first-time investors. So I'm educating them first, really explaining to them, holding their hands, and really showing them what it could be like to invest in something like real estate. So the
So
debt
are
fund, yeah, go
so
ahead.
sorry to interrupt. So are most of your investors then, are they not accredited investors? What
They are
they are
accredited,
accredited,
but
but they
when
just
it
have no experience with real estate previously.
right,
Okay,
right.
cool.
It's not something we've normally talked about.
Yeah.
So it's a different idea, especially coming into a debt fund. I wasn't part of debt funds before. This is my first debt fund that I've been a part of. I
Mhm.
came from syndications. So I've done 12 syndications prior to this.
Mhm.
So this is a new shift for me too. And it's very interesting to see kind of the differences in real estate too, because you start with big properties, 400, 600 units, and now you're going to, okay, we've got a flip,
Okay. Well,
one
that's
tenant.
interesting. So is that a switch that Wealth Mission Group has done over the last few years, has gone from syndications, or is that something you were doing previously to working with these guys?
All of us separately who were part of syndications, we then started and formed Wealth Mission Group,
Oh, I
and
see.
that's what formed the fund.
I see. I see. Okay, now that makes sense. Okay,
Mhm.
very, very interesting. So yeah, so I imagine you built up quite a group of investors with those 12 syndications,
Oh
especially
yeah.
those in big, big, big money. How do you that's a big switch to go from that to a debt fund. So
Mhm.
how's it been working getting your old investors to become fund investors? Your old syndicate LPs.
I like to think of it as you've got three main buckets of income.
Yeah.
You've got your active income, your W-2, and that's what everyone's working towards every day that they go to work. You've got your cash flow passive income. That's what the fund is really focused on. And that's where I'm trying to get people to understand that's your monthly income. That's your money you can play around with.
Mhm.
Then you've got your legacy wealth income. That's your syndications. That's your set it and forget it. That's what's going to build your financial freedom that you can give to your family's family later on in life. And that's what we were building, and which I want people to still build,
Mhm.
but you can't really touch and see that. And that's
Mhm.
what syndications are. So if I can explain it to them that that's where we were building before we were in that bucket, now we're going to build bucket number two. And that's this passive cash flow that's coming to you in your bank account every month. And that's what you can be spending money on: groceries or vacations, or maybe just not working for a few weekends every month. Wouldn't that be nice?
Mhm. So you're working with a lot of first-time investors in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So you come from a health services background.
Yes.
Is that kind of the niche you play in there,
Yeah.
or do you kind of, okay, cool. Now,
Yeah.
now you mentioned that the transferable skill from nursing to capital raising is building trust and creating rapport and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It is a little bit different though, because your patients don't have much choice. Like they're crashed out in a bed in the hospital. They got to
One
talk.
choice just to get out, right?
Yeah.
Or they have to talk to me.
Yeah, exactly. Now, when it comes to raising capital, yeah, the building rapport and creating that relationship super important, building trust. How do you get new investors in front of you? Like, how do you meet new people and have these conversations? What's working best for you, Maria?
Right now, it's just going to places that you might not think investors will be. If you're going to the events where everyone's going to, there's going to be maybe one investor.
That everybody's
I've
going to glob onto. It's like
everyone's
chum in the
going to that
water, isn't
one.
it? It's terrible.
That one investor, that poor person. Like, I always feel bad. You see them in the corner and they've got like four people just attacking them.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that. I feel bad for that one person. But I like to go to different places.
Yeah.
I like to just go to any hotel convention that is going on. It could be in your backyard. I go to those all the time. I've met an investor in a grocery store. I've seen people just walking around. I like to talk about what I'm doing all the time. I
Nice.
like to normalize the idea that we can talk about money
Mm.
every day and all day. That's something that's a bit different, especially being a female. We don't normally do that. I mean, when you're talking with other women,
Most people don't normally do that, but yeah,
we
females
don't
even
we
less.
don't do that. Yeah, we talk about, other things. We don't always do that.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to talk about finances in every conversation, especially when you ask your friends and family, "Oh, what are you doing with your extra 50K in your bank account?" Normally not what everyone wants to talk about,
Yeah.
especially, every day. So it's interesting. You just have to have that courage to do that, to even start up that conversation.
Well, so I'd love to hear your elevator pitch, Maria, or whatever it is that you do. So let's say you and I just met at a conference in your backyard, and it's the, I don't know, Lions Conference of America or something like that, and I'm one of those guys attending. So we meet. So how do you kind of start the conversation?
Kind of depends. I just love to know more about you. And I just start asking questions. I want to know everything about you.
Mhm.
And it's through that normally people start to tell me things. I don't know what it is about being in healthcare and being a nurse that gets people to start telling me things. And from there, you get to be a
Because
detective. It's
you've
so
seen it
fun.
with their pants down. You're not, not nothing shocks you.
Maybe that's it. Maybe I see so much of them that they're like, well, they've seen so much of me, they'll just tell me anything. But you become a detective, and you hear certain pain points, and you don't really attack them because you never want to attack someone, but you
Yeah.
lean into it. So I'd ask what you do for a living, and if you have kids, and what you do with your spare time and what your hobbies are, and then I start to ask you, what you do for fun. And wouldn't it be great if you had, an extra $1,000 to go do something for a weekend, or if you got to go spend more time with your family, and just putting those ideas in someone's head and then saying, what if we had a conversation about that?
Nice. So it's a heck of a lot of time just kind of playing
Listening.
detective, all about them, listening, yeah, asking questions, not trying to ram your 30-second commercial down their throat,
Mm-hmm.
and them to open up. I can see how you
Right.
can do that very, very well. You've got a very good approach to you there. And
Thanks.
then listening carefully to pick up on those clues, and then kind of subtly moving the conversation. Here's a question.
Yeah.
Do you find that most people just absolutely love talking about themselves, and they
My
could
gosh.
go ramble on and they never
Hmm.
ask anything about you? Like
All the
eventually you
time.
might get around.
No one wants to know about me, and that's fine. I'm totally fine with that. I would much rather know about everyone else because 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell me exactly what their problem is without me even asking. And that's perfect. You've told me all of your problems. You've told me everything I need to know within the first 5 minutes of me talking to you because I've said absolutely nothing.
Just ask questions. Just
Mhm.
gotta get eliciting more and more. Very cool. And then, so
Like a
when you
reverse
say,
elevator pitch.
pardon me, yeah, the word
The
reverse
reverse.
elevator.
Yeah. You don't
Absolutely.
say anything.
I like that. You could write a book about that, Maria.
Be very short.
It's perfect, even better. Nobody wants to read anymore anyhow. So I love that. And then you kind of slip in there when you find out what their pain points are, or you kind of
Mhm.
nudge them along with, wouldn't it be nice if you could spend more time? Like
Right.
that transition. So then you say, well, so how do you do that? Would you like to hear about how we could help you
Yeah.
with that, or how I could help
Yeah.
you with that? Is that
I mean, you really want to just paint this picture for them. Like, picture a time when you could buy grocery, like, use where you are. Like, if you're at the grocery store, you're at a soccer game, like, wouldn't it be great if you could buy let's say you're at a soccer game, if you could buy your kid any soccer equipment that they would want without having to worry about how much it's going to cost.
okay? So playing devil's advocate here, Maria, wouldn't, I mean, assumption being accredited investors, people making 200 grand plus a year, million
Mhm.
dollar net worth, excluding their personal residence, yada, yada, all the normal accredited investor stuff. One would assume they're not super tight for cash. They might not be super flush, but buying their kid a
Right.
soccer ball might not be a big. So how do you kind of pre-qualify people when you're talking to them? So you kind of get
I
it.
assume everyone has money.
Okay.
Because if you don't, then you're typecasting people out of your way.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has money. They've all saved away. They've done the Dave Ramsey thing where they think that they've got to save away for this big thing that's going to happen, or they've got a 401k that's sitting doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That I could turn it into a lot more if they just let me help them. Or they've got an account that's doing nothing, maybe making 1 or 2% in a bank that's sitting there doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And 9 times out of 10, they're not utilizing what they have, or they're thinking that they need to save everything for something later.
Mm-hmm.
Or they know someone who has money.
Nice. I love the way you think. That's very strategic.
Mhm.
So right now we're recording this. It's the middle of the year already, 2025. What's on the books for the next 12 months? What do you guys got anything interesting cooking up business wise?
Well, my thing right now is I want to keep
Mhm.
educating and showing people that you can make money. This is achievable. The banks are doing this, so you can too. Why should you not be doing what everyone else is doing? This isn't new. This isn't crazy. We're not recreating finance. This isn't something crazy. You can do this. So let's do it too. And that's what I want to do is educate. We're raising $25 million for Fund One,
Mhm.
and we're going to do it this year. Next year, we're going to raise for a few more. And we're excited. We want more people to be a part of it.
Nice. Awesome. Maria, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you very much for sharing your approach to raising capital. I think it's brilliant. I love your reverse elevator pitch idea. That's
Thank you.
really, really good there. If people want to connect with you and find out more, or just get to know you or find out more about the fund or the company, where should they go?
You can find me at linkwithmaria.com. You can book a call. You can find me. I'd love to connect.
That's a good URL, linkwithmaria.com. Maria, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody, take care, and we will see you on the next one. Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewsyou.com.